Hello and welcome, everybody. BAMS 9, week 13 in the books, looking ahead to week 14, and this is a special week. We're not at the playoff preview, but we are on the cusp, the precipice of the playoffs. This is the last week of the regular season. We got a lot of spots that have not been established. Much movement to happen over the next couple of days here. Commish, how are you doing?
Fantastic. The tone, the excitement in your voice kind of says it all. It's week 14. The end of the regular season is Monday. We have four teams at 8-5 fighting to stay in the playoffs, and two, stay in the playoff. I mean, it's two teams are in, myself and the T Gangbangs are in the playoffs. I'm fighting to keep that bye. You're fighting to get in the playoffs. You're at 8 right now, but you have a very good chance.
That tells the story, is that you sensed excitement in my voice, and I'm in 8th place in this league.
Right. 100%. But Tim, this is the fifth installment of BAMS on site this year. Today we're in Tega, South Carolina. Tega, South Carolina, at a coffee shop called Knowledge Perk Coffee Company. Now, if you come in today and get a large coffee with a shot in it, they won't give you any deals, but they allow you to sit on their couches and enjoy the 4 snowflake pictures that they put on the wall behind you. And they just implemented a new tip system on their thing when you put the credit card in. So check it out and maybe give them a tip because it's the holidays.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's a pretty exclusive area. That's their most decorated section of the coffee shop. So I'm glad that we have, a stimulating background like that.
Yeah, they had eggshell white as the backdrop of the snowflakes. And so it's, I looked out. I walked in and it was available. So anyway, I mean, back to football. Everything's, we got this weekend of the regular season. Next weekend, we got, what did I call it? BAMS for the holidays, Christmas for BAMS, whatever.
That is the 18th, which
the 18th.
That might be, I don't know if it's the first week where there's also Saturday games next week. I don't know if that's next week. Yeah. So it's going to be a nice weekend.
Part of me was like, do we move it to Saturday? And then I was like, 18th.
Commit 18th.
Commish commits.
That's resolution 18th. from the commish.
Yes. So, but no, vibes are high. Everything's good. I say we get into the week 13 recaps. I'm going to jump right in without having looked at anything. I got a great segment too later.
I mean, I think we're both going fresh off the dome. We really don't plan these at all, but this one didn't plan at all.
I usually write stuff down. I don't even have anything to write with.
I love it.
Let's go. Shea's Heaters. Staying relevant, staying in the race, barely holds off Marianne's Hammocks. This was a close one. 111 to 107. Shea he's one of the 8-win teams, right? I'm not gonna click off this so I don't lose it because I got to talk about it. But
he is an 8-win team. We've got 4 of them, 4 8-win teams. Yeah. Shea is atop the 4 of the 8 wins. He is in fourth place. Oh, I said he was atop. My bad. Fiona, which we'll get to, is atop it. Shea right underneath. And this is a win for Shea. A guy right here who wanted him to lose badly got down to Monday night. We'll get into all of that. Also, just because Shea gets the win, this Shea victory is brought to you by Shea's Heaters. It's brought to you by Marlboro Menthols. If you love nicotine and you're asking yourself, Hardo, I love my nicotine, but where's the carbon monoxide? Marlboro Menthols. So go to marlboromenthols.com/BAMS for your free pack of smokes. Shea on the 18th. I can't wait to have 1 to 2 smokes with you. Let's get those heaters going. Congrats to Shea on his victory this week. Back to you, Commish.
Back to the recap. Speaking of smokes, Christian Watson, my goodness, can that guy run? 22.8 points. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the last month. He is on a heater himself and keeping Shea in the hunt. You also got Tyron Lockett, who I thought was done. When not, every year it's kind of an internal joke I have with myself. How I can't stand Tyler Lockett. He always exceeds my expectations, and I think he has touchdowns in 5 weeks now in a row.
Yep.
So 2 huge weeks from his wide receivers. Nothing crazy aside from that. Hammocks just didn't have a great day. Hammocks made it close with Gino and Tony Pollard, but that's a quick recap for that. Shay's in it. Shay is battling this weekend against someone that I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, he's definitely in the mix.
Yeah, Shay with the Christian Watson surge, where this was a team making some moves in the middle of the year. Outlook wasn't looking too great. And then from week 10, Christian Watson outputs 29, 19, 17, 22. So for that to emerge out of nowhere where you need to be making the playoff push he has been Shay's heater of the last month and a half. Absolutely huge 4-point victory over Marianne's Hammocks. He was going into Monday night needing points from Chris Olave and Mike Evans, which for how disgusting of a game that was, halftime he was very much projected for the victory. Halftime happens and he's got almost no points from Olave and Evans. Put him in a position where he possibly was going to choke this one away to Marianne's Hammocks. Marianne's Hammocks towards the bottom of this league, but they've shown a lot of heart down the stretch and have made some teams sweat. So the chip on the shoulder for Hammocks continues. They're not a team that you want to mess with down the stretch here. So a lot of effort, a lot to applaud there, but Shay gets the 4-point victory over Marianne's.
Christian Watson also is the number 3 wide receiver in that span the last month. So big time stuff. Okay, what do you got? Next recap.
I look forward to you showing me how you quickly pull up these rankings on your phone. I'm not good at it. We've been on this before where you're like, can you just pull up like how's Amari Cooper doing on the season? I'm like, not even close.
Like,
don't know. So,
nope. Next.
All right, we'll go to
I promise I'm not making it all up either.
We'll go to Derek's bad name. He beats Grohl's 114 to 92. Not a ton to highlight here. Grohl's is towards the bottom of the league, so this is kind of how things are shaking out. Derek's rad team in the group with me of outside looking in, but having a lot of outs, a lot of ways to get in the side door to the playoffs here. So from Derek's rad team side, it was this Bucks team that he's riding with Tom Brady, Godwin, Fournette, like lucky to claw and scratch his way out with some points for what was a disgusting Monday night game. So not the most impressive names on that list, but Brady gets him 18, Godwin 12, Fournette 13. So they squeezed out some points, but it's like, I just feel like it's a dicey proposition every single week. Garrett Wilson, rookie, absolute stud. Ramondre Stevenson will be kept into next year. So he's just got a solid team that's going to get you 110 to 120 every single week. So he falls right in that range here. Grohl's with a 92-point output. I don't even have any major things to be pointing out. I guess Rashard White being on Grohl's team is nice looking into next year. This could be the sliding doors moment here of Fournette breaking down, might be falling out of the rotation, White sliding into next year. So the Grohl's planning ahead, looking good as he continues being in the bottom 3 spots of this league for this year.
Yeah, he's if any of those running backs, I think he's got another one too. Aside from Rashad White, I can't think it off the top of my head, but I know he's got a few keepers aside from the 78 third-round draft picks that he'll be on one next draft day, as the kids say. My next recap is sticking with the bunch between 3 and 6 is Baloney Squeezes falling to the T gangbang.
The T stands for the.
Mm-hmm. So the T gangbang, just cementing their spot at the top of the standings with 155 points. points, taking that $50 bill. It's a tough loss for the Squeezes or the Cowboys, the Baloney Cowboys,
Baloney Cowboys,
as we've anointed them. But there's a positive. So CeeDee Lamb, Keenan Allen, Zeke, Taylor, all between 12 and 18 points. It's kind of like a consistently, like, I don't know if it's a depth thing that they have good depth, but they're just, I mean, he made trades, and the point I'm making is we were very negative on them. I like their team going into the playoffs. I think there was nothing great. Their best point total was the defense, Dallas, which 38. No, they're snowflakes. 38 points. Okay, so 38 points is the highest combined defensive total in a matchup. Baloney's top Cowboys got 20 points from their Cowboys, 18 on the Gangbangs. So yeah, you gotta love analytics, gotta love records, and we always point that out. So
it's just, I mean, the Baloney Cowboys are still in a nice position. I think they're in a win and end in scenario. And they've got some players here. Keenan Allen, who I traded away way early in the season, and that guy just didn't play for 11 weeks. But now is a nice piece to have, especially with Mike Williams still working through his very predictable injuries. And Squeezes being that team that we knew and we were kind of ragging on for not putting up a lot of points, but getting lucky in terms of their victories, now look pretty stacked. And I think that's going to be a key matchup for this week is the Baloney Cowboys against Derek's bad name. I do got to say, though, if we're talking about regression on this luck, very tough to be going up against T Game Bang, putting up 155 this week. And I mean, we'll go into our quick segment here. Pete Squeezes, great guy, just like a really good guy. So generous too. Like every time we hang out, he's always smiling. I just love,
not a bad thing. No one says
I love his energy. Just being around him, you're always going to feel better. But at the quarterback position, when you're looking for good karma, I mean, the Watson start where he puts up 6 points for it's
6 points.
You know, it's not a reflection on who he is or like where
I mean,
his moral compass
person.
lies. Yeah, but it's just you just don't love to see that like some morals are being sacrificed to try to win some games, and I just feel like the karma played out there.
Yeah.
On to the next matchup.
On to the next one. One last point on that. Gangbang had 154 points, and their tight end goosed. Baloney Squeezes had 126, which was like a top 3 point on the week. So he still had a good week. And he's got Kyler Murray and Joe Mixon coming back this week. So look out for the squeeze. Okay, what's the next matchup you got?
We'll go with formerly known as Fianna, now known as Clown Car. They get an easy victory, no surprises over the Tottenham Hotspurs. Hotspurs put up 55, so enjoy your layup. Great time. Like about as fortunate as you can imagine in terms of that scheduling down the stretch for the Clown Car to put up 82 and have an easy victory over the Hotspurs. Hotspurs still only one win on the season, have to be an idiot to lose to that team. So yeah, Clown Car wins by about 28 here. The Lamar Jackson injury it's not a death blow, but it is a major setback for Fianna. When you look at what Fianna has had to work with this year of this Lamar injury that's just hit him. He had the Jamar Chase injury that put him in a position to throw Chase in a trade because he needed to win now. Chase is back and healthy and looking good. And then you have Cooper Kupp in that disaster of the Rams on this roster. Definitely has to be kept into next year. Total stud, but there's been a lot for the Fiana, who had, I think, really had a very fortuitous run in terms of not having to deal with too many injuries and that pendulum swinging back. So got the Fiana in a matchup against me this week, which is a win I need or I die. And really, Fiana just needs to be focusing on how do they regroup. They could lose to me this week and easily stay in the playoffs. They're really not in jeopardy of falling out. But dark days right now, and they need to bounce back.
Saquon Barkley questionable for tomorrow.
the neck, I don't know. I don't think I've seen more Thursday, Friday injury pops. It's just like illnesses and like people getting hurt in like Thursday and Friday practices.
I know.
Brutal.
I know. This is probably the most this is why we started the What a Game segment.
Yes.
Fiana, as of August 2021, has had one of the best teams BAMS has seen. And we were commending that. We were lauding the success over time and how good his team has been. And within days, he has fallen so far as to change his name to Clown Car. That's why we love this. That's why we love this game. Something can happen next week where he's right back at it, and he could very easily end up in the third spot of the standings, which puts him in a driver's seat. And it's just, I love the swings. I love everyone going on tilt. I mean, this is great. And what a game.
And that is what a game. And I'm stepping on our current segment of the matchup recaps that we're doing right now, but we're going to call this quick segment Taking Credit, which is I put in a waiver wire ad for Jared Goff. You were talking in the thread that you're trying to muddy the waters on whether or not you would be putting in a waiver claim. I didn't want to take any chances. There was only one quarterback that I thought was worthy of an ad this week from the waiver wire, and you had priority. Then it was me. Then it was Jay at the very bottom. And I just said, just in case the commish does not go in for Jared Goff, which I don't think I believe him, but let's just say I'm going to block that as well. I was cool with anybody else landing on Team Fiana. You win the waiver priority. You get yourself Jared Goff. I didn't try to block anybody else. That gets Derek Carr on Fiana's team. And what was one of the worst NFL losses I've seen in the last 5 years was that Thursday night matchup of the Raiders giving up a 98-yard drive to Baker Mayfield, who landed on that team 48 hours prior. Derek Carr was throwing like he didn't touch the ball in the second half, and it was a horrific first half. I missed a lot of the first half. I was at my kid's Christmas recital. I come home, pull up, see that the Raiders are in the red zone before or right at the end of the first half. Pull up my phone. I watch one play on my phone, and it is Derek Carr throwing a red zone pick. It was the best. So that 4-point finish for Carr, I think he was at like 5, ends the game with a pick, drops back down to 4. 4 points is as low as we have seen from a quarterback this year. So in this matchup
a couple times.
But you bet party to it. That is why we've landed on Clown Car for the Fiana.
I was going to say that's like early season commissioner quarterback numbers, which, by the way, all of this hype for Goff this weekend and getting him on the waivers scares the hell out of me, I got to say. So we will see. We're going to go right back into one of the hottest teams in the standings, and that's you, sir. 131 points. You didn't win the week, but I think you came in second. And if there's a way to look at projections, I want to go through the season and look at like the top 5 projections before the week starts. And I'm pretty sure they're all your team. Like you always average
my
like
team loves being projected for 132 and putting up 105. I had another bonus segment, which was stop it. And that's to Yahoo. Stop it. Stop giving me 132 points of the projections. Like, and then we're like 10 minutes into a Sunday and it's just down to 115. Like, just stop giving me 130 because I will never get there except for this past week. But 3 weeks prior, I was also projected for 130. I got nowhere close.
Yeah, but you got Antoine Alex Brown and A Brown.
He's good.
Revenge game. You knew that was happening. That's great. McCaffrey just paying off for that trade. You got Philly's D coming in big. Isaiah Pacheco finally come. I mean, everything's working out for you.
You lose Jimmy G. You toss in Brock Purdy. Throw in a block party. On the ones and twos is the DJ playing some Aqua Barbie girl and some Macarena for the kids. Get the hula hoops going. Limbo. Brock Purdy is my guy.
Block party, playing Barbie girl. Did you do that on purpose?
I'm gonna pull it, my friend.
Oh, he didn't even understand that he was.
No,
but no, King of the Hills in the fight. He had 107 points. I got him this week, and right now we're split. There's a couple matchups with this week coming up that are big. One is him and myself. We are separated by a point projections, and then and Shay also is separated by like 0.3 points to Diesel guys, and he's fighting. So a lot of close matchups, at least right now there is. So yeah, I kind of hit on the main points of your matchup. Unless you want to touch on anything else, we're good to go.
All right. Which we didn't get to you, right? That's our last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
this is hilarious. A week. I just lucked out like I've never had before. But go ahead.
So it's you versus Diesel guys. So you win 129 to 106 from the Diesel guys. So comfortable victory, but I mean the things that happened here in terms of this was very lucky because Jalen Waddle puts up 1.6. I know he's working through some injuries here. Kenneth Walker injury for the Diesel guys who traded. Diesel guys traded with Viana to get Kenny Walker on their team. He puts up 3.6. Treylon Burks. I mean, an unconscious Treylon Burks has better hands than Darius, like a fully conscious Darius Slayton, for instance. But Treylon Burks catches a touchdown and is completely out cold and holds on to the ball in the end zone. It was an awesome play, but that kicks him out of the game. So you just had injuries across the board for the Diesel guys. Yeah. You're able to overcome a 28-point disparity from the defenses. The Diesel guys get 30 out of Cleveland against Houston in what was a disgusting victory for Deshaun Watson, who did nothing in that game, and it was all defensive special teams for Cleveland. So yeah, you dodged a million bullets here to find yourself to a comfortable victory. Amon-Ra St. Brown, still so good. Justin Fields, solid. Stephon Diggs. So all your studs are doing things. A little bit of a bounce back for Dameon Pierce, who was really doing nothing in the previous couple weeks.
Yeah.
So you made it happen. Your depth piece, DK Metcalf in the flex position, putting up 22.
Saved.
So you made it happen.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it always evens out. This
new segment. I'll tell you what, go.
The loss to Ford or the Tottenham Spurs, this just evens it out. So anyway, let's do the new segment.
And I know like we would go into like waiver wire and stuff like that. Like I feel, especially because we've done such a thorough recap on these matchups, I would like to look ahead to the matchups this week and just talk through the implications, because if we run short on time, I would hate that we didn't talk about this. So
let's go. Yeah.
Let's look at what's happening this week. Chime in as we go here, but I'll try to hit some high level recaps of where we're at. So me as the 8 seed against Clown Car at the 3 spot. I'm currently projected to win 125 to 86. So I do have a comfortable 40-point margin projected right now, but Cortland Sutton, hamstring injury. Jacoby Myers, I just saw that he did not practice today, so he likely won't be playing on Monday. Amari Cooper popped on the injury report with a hip from like a Friday practice or something. So I'm working through all sorts of stuff. Picked up MVS off the waiver wire. It's a tough go for the clown car to have Derek Carr put up 4 points on Thursday night. Saquon Barkley with the neck popping. He's had to move around a decent amount of pieces. One thing to watch is if Amari Cooper doesn't play, he's got David Njoku and Donovan Peoples-Jones for Cleveland. So we'll see if Watson is interested in completing any passes this week. But I need to win. If I lose, I'm out of this playoff run. So it does start here for Team Hardo before any fortune can fall upon me of finding my way into the playoffs. I got to control my own destiny and get myself a win this week. And it won't hurt me to score a bunch of points because I might need that tiebreaker as well. So projected for 125, projected for a 40-point win, but I'm not taking anything for granted right now. I need that dub and I want to score 130.
And I was just going to say, and you're not going to get too excited talking about your team because it's fantasy football and we've all been there. We've all been penalized for getting cocky and confident. So I'll say it for you, but Mark Andrews was a stud with that Huntley guy last year. So it was his number one target. So I would expect him to have a good game. Like I said, Saquon Barkley, questionable. We'll see. Shuba Hubbard, that's their backup, right? In Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the speed guy. Yeah.
So he's never gotten, aside from one game earlier in the season, he's never gotten more than 6 points, 6.5 points. And their starter, whatever his Deontay Foreman, he's coming back tomorrow. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think that's an aggressive projection. And you got the quarterback, and you got already the aforementioned Derek Carr.
Yeah. So I actually needed to. I was in a position of already giving a pep talk to the clown car, which I shouldn't be in that position. But based on where he's at, he's in a rut right now. This is just 1 week. He will be in the playoffs. I think he does have to say goodbye to his odds of the highest score overall. Which segment? Honest question is what this segment's called. Honest question. Does the $50 bill, does that end when we enter the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is the last week to win a $50 bill.
And it's the last week for highest scorer of the season?
Yes. Which it is close. I should have that up, but I kind of have it up. T. Gaming's at 1537. Jay Clown Car's at 1523. So he's got a spread of 14 points there. That's tough.
That's what I'm saying. So he's got to kiss that goodbye most likely. But again, he's in the playoffs, even with the low output. He's sitting pretty. Say goodbye to that high score, but concentrate, reload for the playoffs.
And to beat my own chest, I'm only 33 points behind T Gaming. So T Gaming puts up 100 points, which he did just a few weeks ago, and I come out with a big week. I could swoop in from the third spot and take that. So that's another.
And we'll get into the implications there. We'll go down the line. Commish versus King of T Hill. King of T Hill is in jeopardy of getting bounced out of the playoffs. Some things have to happen from Derek's bad name and myself for this to go down, but that is one of the dominoes. Is myself and Derek's bad name are number one fans of Commish this week. We want you to beat King of T Hill in a matchup that is projected of King of T Hill 119 versus Commish 120. So it's going to be spicy hot. Going to come down to the nitty gritty here, but
if you're interested and anybody watching this is interested in my matchup with King of T Hill, just turn on the noon game versus the Vikings, because I have Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and DeAndre Swift. I haven't played him in a while, so I forgot his name. Who they playing? Minnesota. So yeah, I have all three of those guys. So if Detroit scores, your boy might be okay, but if they don't, no.
And I was talking trash on DeAndre Swift last week, but he comes out with, I don't know, like 14 to 16 touches, somewhere in that range. So he definitely got himself back in the mix last week.
14 rushes, 6 targets, four catches. So yeah,
that's real nice. So
we hope he continues this week. So
we do. We really do.
We really do.
Groles versus Marianne's Hammocks. That's an 11 seed versus a 10 seed. No playoff implications there.
That's an
next.
That's an all-time don't care matchup.
Speaking of don't care, T Gangbang against the Hotspurs. No. It has no implications whatsoever.
No.
Gangbang, congrats on the win in advance this week. I don't think it even matters if they lose. It might, I guess, for seeding this, like if some crazy stuff happens, it's possible. But
at worst, they're gonna be they got the bye.
Gangbang rolls on. Diesel guys versus Shayski. Diesel guys, I did deliver the final blow to Diesel guys last week. So Diesel guys are out of the playoffs, confirmed. But they can play spoiler for Shayski. They're both projected for 106 points. Shayski is sitting pretty, I would say, but the one thing he can't do is have a horrific week from a point standpoint. If he puts up like 80, 90, which he's projected for 106 right now, that could put him in jeopardy because there are some teams, myself, Derek's bad name, that have amounts that are trailing him by like 30 in that range. So Shay, get yourself a win and you're in. Lose and have a bad output and you could get jumped despite being in the 4 spot right now.
45 is what you're chasing with Shay. 45 points, which that's not inconceivable.
That's asking a lot, but yes, not inconceivable. But I know Rad Team is closer. So there's everything there. And then, I mean, we looked at some spicy matchups, me versus Clown Car, you versus T Hill. And then this is the matchup of the week, is the Baloney Cowboys versus Derek's bad name. It is the Cowboys with 122 and Derek's Rad Team at 118 in this projected matchup. So very tight split on the projections. I could conceivably jump either of these teams, but my easiest route would be actually wanting Derek's Rad Team to beat the Baloney Cowboys because I have a more sizable lead on the Baloney Cowboys in points. I'm trailing Derek's bad name. So one of these teams, if it's Derek's bad name loses, I think they're just straight up out. If the Baloney Cowboys lose, they will need some other things to happen, including me putting up some points and keeping a gap over the Baloney Cowboys, but that could also get them bounced. So these are the two teams on the cusp with a lot of serious implications.
Big time. Yeah, it's going to be great. Every except for the 2 games. Four. How many games? We have 4.
Every matchup is going to be great, except for the 2. Except for the 2.
So 4 out of the 2. But everyone except for the 2. And I don't know.
Hey, buddy. We can. I mean, I don't know if I'm in a mood for predicting death. I'm so jazzed about the matchups, and we got 4 minutes left here. Is there anything we want to say in terms of? I don't know if it's plugging the 18th again as getting the group together. I will just say, congrats to everybody to making it this far. Congrats to the league being so high quality for us to have 8 teams that have interest going into this final week of the regular season, trying to get into the playoffs. I love this league. It's just good vibes. Heck of a season. One more to go in the regular.
Yeah, everything you said and then more. It's super competitive. Everyone's always involved. The communication is just through the roof right now on the thread. Love the contribution from Clown Car with the pictures. It's hilarious, the one he sent today. December 18th is going to be fantastic. We got confirmations from you, from Clown Car, from Shay, from Polanka, most likely, myself, and a lot of maybes, most likely, is that we'll confirm here through the week, but we'll figure out what we're going to do. I think it's going to start out at my place in the city and then maybe go to a brewery or bar or whatever, or maybe not. We'll find out. We'll decide. So That'll be great. You mentioned not wanting to do the Deadpool, and hell no, I don't want to do it. Last week we didn't, and my opponent lost half his team. It was the gods thanking me for not predicting deaths. So
I
kind
had a
of-
similar viewpoint. We're going to call this segment On the Same Wavelength. I think we're on the same wavelength here, that I kind of, similar in that I don't want anything cheap. I want my entry into the playoffs being me earning it and having a great week. Got some things working against me, but yeah, I don't want it to come easy. I don't want it to come at the expense of anybody losing some dudes for the playoffs.
Yeah.
I want whoever wins this thing to just be because they stack their team. That's it.
Yeah. So earn it. And that's what we've all been doing so far this year. So it's been good. I think I am good. I'm gonna go hop in the car again, and my wife's taking a nap in there right now. I said, babe, Daddy's got a podcast. But yeah. And lastly, again, don't forget TK, South Carolina. If you guys are in the area at all, just this week, Knowledge Perk Coffee Company, come in and leave a tip, because it's the holidays. So that's all we got. Great luck to everyone this weekend, and we'll see what pans out, and next week's gonna be fantastic. Last words.
Thank you, everybody, for being a part of this league. Thank you for the millions who watch who aren't a part of the league. I love everything that we got going on here, and I hope we enjoy the holiday season. Get those tunes pumping, get the vibes going. We'll see you next week. Shay, bring your smokes. Love you guys.
Happy holidays.